Best Medicine Podcast with Simba. Sparking positive change in the community. Having real conversations and therapy. You know that laughter's the best remedy. Got that heavy dose of humor for your hearts to heal. With mental health, it can't get any more real, yeah. Best Medicine Podcast. Laugh, love, learn. Best Medicine Podcast.
Best Med Pod, it's your man Simba Roar back in this thing one more time, bruh. And today, I have a legend in the building, y'all. If you know or listen to the diagnosis, you know that all I have are special guests, and today ain't no different. Today, if you've ever been in Richmond, you probably know this young man's name. This man is an author. This man is a community leader. This is someone who I met last year who every single time he walked in the room, you feel a presence. You feel positive masculinity when he walks in the room and takes pride in himself. And I'm honored to have him on the pod today. So today I introduce you to TJ Sykes. What's going on, brother?
Man, chilling on this Monday evening.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, really appreciate being here with you, my brother.
Yeah, it's love. It's love. It's love. This should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
Should have happened a long time ago, but you know, everything is in due time and divine time.
Mm-hmm. Everything in alignment.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening when it should.
Yeah. So what's up with you? Tell my millions of fans and listeners who you are.
Man, some of which you already said, but other than that, I'm a human being, man. I'm a spirit living this physical realm right now, and trying to find balance and trying to find wholeness in myself,
right?
So that I could project that outwardly, and support other folks with finding wholeness within themselves. Yeah, so that's what I'm really focusing on right now. Really diving deep into self to figure out where's the gaps that I need to fill within me to become a whole human being.
Right. And that's funny. Like when we say everything's in alignment, this conversation couldn't have come in a better time for me. Like right now is at a place where I am transitioning into becoming a different me. And I've been in my cocoon of thoughts and trying to figure out what it is that I'm going to be. And last week, 2 weeks ago, I finally broke out of that shell. And now in this moment, I'm still like trying to get out of that cocoon so I can fly. And I appreciate the fact that you say helping other people become whole, because I don't think you can make someone whole, right? You have to allow them the space to create their own wholeness and not try to put yourself into it, to fit yourself into it. It's like, I'm feeling you're whole. It's like, no. You need to be whole.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And that applies all across the board in platonic relationships, in romantic relationships, in family relationships, business relationships. Whatever it is, you can't make people whole. People have to be whole, and two whole people got to come together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I come as a whole person, and you come as a whole person, and we combine, we become bigger than ourselves. There's no lack. There's nothing that I need to make up for or something that you need to make up for, because we're both complete.
Yeah. So you got two whole people that's together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
That's very, 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 very important. Very important. At what point did this knowledge or this reviewing of self start?
I think that I already been on a journey to explore the inner self, but it's more intentional and it's more focused. And so I would say that similar to you in the last few weeks, where it has just been gotten like real and raw, and it takes one for me. It took me to be at a place of like a different level of vulnerability, not just regular vulnerability. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even really know how to explain it, because for the last few years I've been vulnerable, been able to be vulnerable, but now it's to the point where it's just like I can identify people immediately when I meet them, that it's like, all right, I'm gonna be I feel safe enough to be vulnerable with this person when it comes to a conversation, or when it comes to emotions, when it comes to hugs, physical touch, whatever it is. And so it's like levels to vulnerability. And so I've been able to identify things that I need for myself within like different spaces or different people. And so some people aren't going to be able to help you with certain things or guide you in that way. And that's not to say that this person can't help you. They just can't help you with this specific thing.
Right.
And so now I found people that can help me with those specific things that I still need help with. And so it's been a dope journey. So specifically what I'm saying is, for the last few years I've been going to therapy, one-on-one therapy, and that was helpful in a certain way, in a certain aspect of my life.
Right.
But there was another aspect that I needed support with. And within that journey, I was able to identify what I did not get from there and find it somewhere else. Right. And so that's what I mean by a different level. It's just like, all right, this person helped me with this piece of me. Now I need another person to help me with a different piece.
Right. I had a conversation with a friend, and she was talking about getting out of a bad relationship, and it took her some years to get herself to a point where she was happy with herself and being with herself. And she did the work. She's doing affirmations. She's doing everything that'll brings her light, right? But now she's at a point where she wants a partner. So now she has to learn how to be with someone, how to be happy with herself, and now share a life with someone. And that's the tricky part, because now it's like, oh, I love myself. These are the things about myself that I love and I hold dear. Now, how does all of those things combine with a whole nother type of person?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So you can do I told her, I said, you can study for a test all day, but until the test is presented to you, you don't even know what's going to be on the test. It could be an all essay test that you've been looking at.
Multiple choice.
You've been studying essay form, and it's multiple choice, true or false questions. So you don't know what the test is until it's presented to you. And it was just great to see that she realized that. She realized that this person that I've created out of the pain that I went through has to now maybe change or be malleable to another person outside of herself.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That I think that kind of reflects on my experience when you talk about specifically a test.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of everything that's going on in the world right now, in terms of the pandemic, I had a lot of routines that I was doing, and I had a lot of self-care practices that I was engaging in prior to the pandemic. And once the shutdown hit, I kind of fell off from a lot of my routines, and feel like I just didn't have the energy to do it no more.
Yeah.
And one thing that I found during this whole time was like, this is one of the pieces that I want that is helping me through this time. Is just like having conversations with real humans,
Right.
About what's on your mind, what's going on.
Yeah.
Opposed to people just, calling me and asking me, do I want to perform here and do I want to perform there? Nah, how are you doing, bro?
Right. Yeah. For me, it's how you feeling.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Yeah, for sure.
Tap into what the emotion is of you right now.
Yeah.
Because we all have been in the house. We've all have had to seclude ourselves from the energy. Like we would shout out to Chaz. We were just talking about Chaz, and that being someone who's just energy we miss.
Yes. For
that
sure.
energy to feel we know the Chaz just on the other side of that room.
Exactly.
We can feel his energy.
No, for sure.
We know that these energies are very important.
They are.
And like you said, you fall off your routines because you're not feeling those same energies that you felt.
Yeah. And we're going against everything our ancestors was about.
Mm-hmm.
It's about community, family, village, culture. Being secluded and away from our family members, bro, that is not good for our psyche. It's not good for our bodies, bro. We need physical touch, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we need to be around energy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, just like if we leave this room right now and there's no one in this room, it's gonna be dead energy up in here because there's no physical, no human beings up in here. So that's how it's been, bro, for a lot of people, and a lot of people are suffering in silence.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I refuse to do. And yeah, for real.
What does that look like? Not suffering in silence.
Part of it looks like being able to find different things that can take your mind to other places. And ways that I do that is eating different fruits and vegetables. Like certain fruits you can only get in other countries, and they're shipped to America. And so even just eating a mango that says from Mexico or a different place, it takes my mind to a certain place. It's like, well, damn, I wonder what Mexico look like. Or I wonder what the mango look like on the tree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
that imagination.
Now that takes me to, well, let me travel to Mexico and see the mango on the tree. Let me travel to Mexico and pick the mango off of the tree and then eat it.
Right.
And so that, and just eating bananas that come from Africa and different fruits and stuff. So like, that's one way. Reading take you to a whole nother place. Well, it takes me to a whole nother place when I read. And I didn't travel through the universe in my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, talk about just the world being small. I didn't travel through the universe. Like, I'm all out of space where it ain't even even no planets. I'm just flying through that thing, bro.
In the void.
For real, bro. And just having an imagination that's bigger than what you can see. That matter of fact, that's another key point. Imagination, yeah. Yeah. Somebody just said something about imagination. But yeah, we have to, as adults, whatever that means, we have to tap back into our imagination and start being more childlike to experience that joy.
We've been told that to stop dreaming.
Yeah.
At some point, we were told to stop dreaming, that our dreams don't exist, and that our dreams didn't matter.
Yeah.
To do whatever we need to do to keep us alive. But that imagination is what keeps us alive. You know how many people I see every day who have nothing inside of their eyes because they gave up all hope? Like, I was watching one of my favorite movies is Pan with or Hook with Robin Williams, and he's Peter Pan, and he's grown Robin Williams, and it's like he didn't remember that he was Peter Pan until he had to go back to Neverland and relive the things that he relived, and it's like, oh yeah, I grew up and I forgot that I was who I was.
Yeah.
It's like you're still Peter Pan no matter how old you are. We still have to have that childhood joy and imagination because that's who we are. We're not this adult grown shell of a person.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That what you just said just touched on another important piece of us is just childhood traumas. Make sure that we are able to go back mentally and heal those things and start talking about those things, because without healing that, that's where the mental block is for our imagination. Whether it was like a harm that was done or even a word.
Yeah.
Like some people could just, children, we were so fragile that anything could hurt our feelings.
Yeah.
And a lot of that stuff stays with us.
Yeah. I can't, my name, because of what it, like how it was used or who used it in the ways to harm me, just hearing my name sometimes is a negative feeling. Brings it, and that's the worst because that's who I am. That's what I've been told that I was. So when I hear my name being said by someone, it's like I kind of always like tense up a little bit because I'm hearing the voice of the person who harmed me instead of the person I'm talking to. And that I had a conversation this weekend too. It's like everything we do is trauma informed. Everything we do is because something happened to us and we learn how to survive it. So we keep putting up defense mechanisms and we live through and by our defense mechanisms instead of just, like you said, being vulnerable and open, because we can't do that because of the trauma. So it takes a lot for someone who has childhood trauma or just trauma in general to be vulnerable. And the fact that we are vulnerable through our traumas, it shows other people that it's possible. Like, this is a reality. Like, through your trauma, you can also be this. You can also not, be what's the word, stagnant in your trauma.
Yeah, for sure.
I like thinking about and listening to people who go through things, and like seeing how they maneuver through the things that they've gone through. It helps me understand people. Like, I've been having like a contentious back and forth with the person, and it's like, oh, these are the reasons why we're at contention, because we're speaking two different languages. Because your trauma says this, my trauma says that, and it's not the same. It's essentially the same type of trauma, but our defense mechanisms have us speaking two different languages. And until we can speak the same language, we'll never understand each other.
I guess one of the questions would be like, how do y'all get to that same language then?
Right. Exactly. It's a different forms of communication. So if talking don't work, let's draw a picture. If pictures don't work, let's sing a song. Like, if song and music don't work, like what we have to get to, we have to find it. Like in any type of relationship where there's contention, you have to find. Everybody learns differently. I learn by doing. I learn hands-on. I learn, tactile, and I learn by hearing. So if you tell me something repeatedly, I'm going to hear it. I'm going to understand it. I'm going to comprehend it. If I am just doing it, I'm going to comprehend it. But for you, you say you read it and you in a different world, right? If when I'm listening, I'm in a different world. You know, so we all learn different. So we all have to use, we can't treat people with the same way that we want to be treated. Like that is like the golden rule, but it's also not true. Like we can't, because you aren't me. What you need to be cared for and what I need to feel cared for is two different things.
Yeah. Even if we had the same love language, it's still gonna be different.
Exactly. This one woman could be in love with both of us, and we both have two different relationships with this woman because of the things that we both need or what we have. Yeah, so it's interesting. It's interesting to me to read people's trauma because it helps me. It helps me more than people telling me who they are. Like, what have you been through, and how do you work through it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's some weird, like, sadist, like, tell me your traumas.
Yeah.
Like,
nah, but that's how you get to know.
Yeah.
That's how you get to know people and know if these are people that you're going to have around you for the long run.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, for me, I'll tell you only so much unless I know something about you as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I tell you, like, some stuff I feel like everybody know.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to the stuff that I sit with at night, I might not tell you because you might not have shared enough for me to let you in that deep.
Or be able to handle it.
Yeah. Or I might not feel safe enough with you.
Yeah. I don't want you having that bit of information.
Yeah. For real.
I don't want you having that. You don't deserve that type of information.
Yeah.
Definitely, because for me, it's like, and on top of that, it's like, there's certain things, certain traumas that I don't even remember until I think about it. So it's like, I've had, this is wrong, this, but something could be said or something could be done to make me remember an instant. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, one day this actually happened to me. Like, I'll give you an example. I was with someone and we were just in a car driving, and they're driving and they pull up in the parking lot. And I'm looking around. I'm like, is this a cemetery? Like, yeah. Like, oh, like, I wish you would have told me that this was a cemetery.
Yeah.
Because I needed to prepare myself to be in a cemetery because I lost my mother when I was young, and cemeteries bring something out of me. Right? Like, that is, I'm not thinking like, hey, you know what? I don't like cemeteries. Like,
yeah.
Because I'm not thinking about cemeteries.
Know where we going.
Yeah, and I'm not thinking about cemeteries.
Yeah. Not on the forefront of my mind.
Yeah, so now that we're near a cemetery, or maybe if we would have passed a cemetery or something like that, and I could have told you that, but the fact that now I'm here,
we pulled up,
and now I'm expected to go,
walk through,
and I don't have a problem with doing that, but I'd want you to know that this is how I feel about cemeteries, so you know this about me. Moving forward, it's not that I won't go to the cemetery, it's that cemeteries bring up something for me. We don't know. We don't think about that type of stuff until we're presented in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the ways that I had moved through a particular type of trauma that I was holding. I was robbed at gunpoint a couple of years back. And so I had created a skit about it. And so we did a skit, and within the skit, it actually triggered me. Like, it took me back to that moment, and I didn't even tell my folks that was with me that was doing the skit. I just, like relived it though, and because I knew that the people that I was with was genuine people and they wasn't trying to harm me, and we didn't have no real guns, and and so I just had to really just breathe through that, and yeah.
But you was really in that moment.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't acting. This is
nah. Yeah. So, and a lot of people don't know. Like, well, I feel like a lot of people did react to the skit like it was real. It wasn't like people was like, "Oh, that's funny" or anything. It was like, "Who the fuck did that to you?"
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
like what the hell?
And that's the best reaction somebody could get.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it was just interesting though, because when I was writing it, I didn't know that I was gonna feel like that. But when it came up, I was like, "Oh shit, this feel like the real thing."
Was this at the time of the show, or was this like during practice or anything like that?
We was on camera.
Okay.
It was like, ooh, I think that was the best take.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we're gonna go with that one. We ain't taking no more takes.
No more takes. This one is method acting, right?
No more takes. Yeah, so man, it came out good though. I mean, best as it could be, shit, for what it was.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
That type of trauma and that type of reliving of it, it's best. It's like it's as if you're drowning. It's like you're drowning just out of pure oxygen. It's like, and I'm not swimming, but I can't breathe. I can't, I'm drowning.
Yeah.
And in those moments, you have to, like you said, am I in danger? Are these people here to harm me? Am I safe? And all those questions were answered correctly, and you were able to breathe and continue your art. Because if you would have stopped there, those reactions that whoever saw that and got something from that wouldn't have got it, because you chose to let fear stop what was happening instead of jumping in and leaning into that fear. Like, I'm in this moment terrified, but this terror will help other people.
Yeah. And if I would have made it aware in that moment, the people that was with me that was acting probably wouldn't even been acting the same no more. They was aware. They would have been aware of what was going on.
Yeah. So they're acting to try to make you feel comfortable instead of going full force and acting in the scene. Yeah. It's authenticity.
It was authentic, all right.
Yeah. So let's talk about your writing. Got the book right there.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it. Section 8.
Yep. So this book been out since December 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of my favorite poems at the time. And the name of the poem was Section 8, and that's why the book is called Section 8.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had really just began to dive into my writing with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of my my favorite poems at the time, and I shared it with two of my coworkers at the time, and they really came up with the idea to create a book. I wasn't really tripping off making a book, because I would say that at that time my imagination was limited in terms of my writing. And I would say that I wasn't confident enough at that time to think that I could publish a book. But I've always been the type of person that if I have something and someone has something to add on to it and are willing to, then I'm willing to work with that person or those people. So from there, once they said that, it was kind of like an epiphany, or kind of like a light bulb went off in my head, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's get to work.
Yeah, real.
Let's get to work. And so we started to work, and I had to send my illustrator a few pictures of the people that I wanted in the book that was like real people, opposed to like just the idea.
Mm-hmm.
So he had some of the general ideas from the poem, but then it was actual people that fit the description of the poem or that I was thinking about when I wrote the poem.
Right.
And so sending them pictures of those people, sending them pictures of myself, and he started to, formulate these things in a digital format and started to send me like drafts and stuff and that. And it started to come out real good. At first, looked like chicken scratch. So I was like, bruh, what is this?
Yeah.
And he was just like, bruh, trust me, this is the process.
Yeah.
And he really set the foundation for how I now think about art in terms of the visual aspect and visual artists. Now it's like
he was just showing you the sketches.
Yeah, like the first draft, and I'm like, bro, what is this? And
bro, you gonna make my book trash.
Look like stick figures, you feel me? And so once the different drafts start coming out, I'm like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
So he did my face. And I was like, all right, for sure, bro. And it's no more questions. Like, I don't doubt your ability. Because I had never seen like the process of a visual artist.
Yeah.
I had only seen the process of a poet. My process and other people's processes that I was working with.
Yeah.
And so that process really set the foundation for me as how I see different visual artists. And now it opened up a different level of vulnerability as well, because it's a certain amount of vulnerability that you have to have with your craft too when you handing it to a person and saying, can you create something from this? And now it's like, I'm like, bro, I seen your work.
Right.
I don't even, just do you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so
you got to take your ego out of it.
Yeah, for sure. And who am I? I don't identify as a visual artist.
Right.
So who am I to tell you as a visual artist how to create art?
Right. Right. It's not what I want it to look like.
Yeah. I could, if I had experience with drawing, then maybe I could, but still, you're a whole nother type of artist. Even if I was a visual artist, you still a different type of visual artist. Yeah. So I still don't really have the authority or ability to really critique your art.
A pastry chef can't tell a surgeon how to do surgery.
Exactly. Exactly.
You are a phenomenal pastry chef.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Don't tell me nothing about this.
Yeah. So once he finished that, then we started to get into the publishing aspect. So really, me and my illustrator, his name Webster Nugent, we kind of stumbled through that whole process together. It was both for our first time trying to publish a book and get the copyrights for a book and all of that, bro. And so we finally published that thing December 2018.
Self-published?
Yep, self-published. And even within those times, had those dark moments, bro.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I'm learning is, like, you hear that saying that, like, I don't even know what I'm saying. But it's kind of like you gotta go through hard times to get to the light or get to the other side of the mountain, whatever the saying is.
A couple
you feel
of them,
me? Yeah. I'm a firm believer in you gotta have some dark times to get to the other side, to get to your goal, to get to the light, wherever you're trying to go.
The dark ages brought the age of enlightenment.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, it was nice that I'm like, damn, bro, this shit. I wanted to quit. I'm like, man, cuz I ain't trying to publish no book.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't even my idea.
Right. Yeah, they just wanted me to do this. Yeah. But that's they saw something in your art.
Yeah.
And wanted to accelerate it.
Yeah.
Do you regret it? Do you regret making it? Right.
Hell nah. It stepped my game up.
Yeah, fully.
Stepped my game up. And make me go harder. I was like, all right, what's next? Without people even asking me, I was already thinking about what's next. Because this was only one poem I already had poems that was sitting in books, just
Right.
sitting around. I'm like,
Right.
all right, well, if it's I already wrote it out, it's out of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now what? I ain't just gonna let it sit here.
Yeah.
Let me clean this up, clean these up, put these together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know.
The fire part about it is that anybody can read it.
Yeah.
You could be a middle school, elementary school. You could be a college. You can be 60. It doesn't matter. You could pick that book up and have a good time reading it. And it's dope that it's just one piece. Sit in this.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this story right now. Because this is a story. Like, this is a book because this piece is a story.
Yep. And it's a story with many stories within it, though.
Right. Right.
Because we could go to one page and we could talk about whatever. You know what I mean? Did you have a favorite page in the book?
Let me see. This is just like, I can't even. I think it is you. Yeah.
Let me see. Which one is that?
Yeah, it's you.
Oh, that's your favorite page?
Yeah.
Read that. What does it say?
I'm that Section 8 boy whose brother received a life sentence, who everybody tells they love but never show him they care, who everybody judge before they knew his struggle.
Yep. All right, so even with that page, we could talk about my brother. So yeah, my brother received a life sentence when I was 18 years old. So that's a story within a story right there.
Right.
Just figuring out who he is and what was his impact in my life.
Right.
And really a lot of our genuine relationship has been built behind bars.
Yeah.
Because before the life sentence, he was already in and out of the system.
Right.
And so yeah, most of me having conversations with him has been over the phone through collect calls and etc. Letters and stuff. And so and the other part about this piece is that piece of like the word love and I love you and what does it mean to me as an individual opposed to what does it mean to other people just saying it? Like, you know, yeah, love is deep.
Right.
It's deep and it's deep and it could be simple.
Yeah.
Depending on who you talking about and how they want to be loved. A lot of folks judge me based on where I came from.
Right.
And what I focus on as I started to grow up and mature is how do I create individuality for myself.
Yeah. So
no matter where I came from or where I'm at, people know me for who I am, as well as know where I come from.
Yes. who I was, who I am. I've been saying this this weekend. Who I was, who I am, who I will be are all three different men.
Yeah.
But to know me and to love me is to love all three of those people.
Absolutely. Yep. So if you don't know one of them, then you can't love me fully.
Right. Right. And we have to give who we want to give that to, all three of ourselves. This is who I was. This is who I used to be. This is who I am. This is who I will be.
Surely. One of my favorite pages is I just describe it because it's really the image, not really the words, but let me see. Oh yeah. Well, I'll read it too though. So watching our every move but can't even catch the enemy, or is it that they don't want to catch anyone? Just monitor the activity and make sure everything goes as planned. So yeah, I like the words too, but in this image, it's an image of me and it's a side view of my face. And on the camera, it's a Saturday, June 5th, 2018, 5:45 p.m. And why this is one of my favorite pages is because when I asked Webster, my illustrator, when I asked him, I said, what made you pick that date in that specific time? And he said, it was just random. You want me to change it? I said, nah, don't change it. That's my birthday.
Right.
I said, that's my birthday, bro. Don't change that. And
Yeah.
so that was special to me. And it was nothing but the ancestors.
Yeah.
And it was
Fully alignment.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, bro. They was watching you on your birthday. Like they watch you every day.
Every day.
And so that was dope to me. I was like, yeah, this my page right here.
What's the next book?
All right, so the next book, I got a name, but I don't know if it's gonna be the final name. But it's gonna be called Poetic Expressions, My Way Out. And so even the label, even the title is a play on words because My Way Out. I'm talking about one of my elders, rest in peace, Walid Elahi. And it was somebody that I looked up to growing up. And so when I was younger, he was in the streets and doing his thing, and he was a notorious dude. But he always had a lot of respect all across the board, from different hoods and different people. And so what I really appreciated about him is before he passed, he transitioned into a different lifestyle that I seen, and I really paid close attention to because I was already paying close attention to him before he transitioned. And he was just an energy that I was attracted to. One of the older folks in the community that I really respected. And so just seeing that transition, it was like deep. It was deep to me, and it made me know at a young age that the streets wasn't the only thing that I had or that I could be. Whenever I want to change, I can change with just a change of thought. So that's somebody that I really appreciate that passed away at a young age that I got a limited amount of game from that I know I would have been able to get a lot more from if he was still here.
Yeah, definitely.
But I still receive game from him though, because on a spiritual realm, he's still around. And he came to visit me in my dreams. Yeah.
Do you know how easy it is to change?
Nope, how easy is it?
You just said it with the thought. You can change
for sure.
everything about you just with one thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then maintaining that thought and working towards what that looks like. It's been with this new blossoming of who I am. I made a choice. To become. And every single day until I'm there is me getting there. So I can't be held to the same standard that I was held to prior to the choice being made. If I were robbed a bank yesterday and today I say, yeah, I don't want to commit any more crimes, take me on that word.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at. I know what I did yesterday. I'm repenting for it. And now I'm deciding to be different. I'm not a bank robber anymore. I think we get held to standards of how we used to be because that's what they know. So the people maybe that you went to school with, they still have an idea of who you are because that's who they knew. Like, you don't know who I am right now today. And that's fine. I can introduce you to them. I think that we should continue to publish books, that we should continue to push our narrative out there and giving people the game of how to do it, how to publish a book, how to make sure everything is copyrighted correctly, to, find these illustrators, find these other writers who can propel these books out. Because, like I said, that book can be for anybody.
Yeah. Also, even barcodes. I learned about barcodes when publishing this book. I didn't know much about them at all, but one thing I do know is make sure you buy your own barcode.
How many did you get?
I had bought one.
Just one, okay.
Which was because I was still learning about it, but I know moving forward, if you are going to publish a book, buy at least 3.
At least 3, right?
At least 3.
Because now you got 3 books. Yeah. Even if you never use them, now you got 3 books.
Yep.
And it will make you want to finish those 3 books.
Yeah.
I got to use these barcodes.
Well, let me tell you about this though. You can even like, it's even good to have 3 barcodes for one book, because when you think about this, right? So you need 1 barcode for physical, then you need 1 for audio, yeah,
and 1 for digital.
Exactly.
For a Kindle or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that type of game that we need. That's not all you do. You've opened a new venture. Tell us about that.
All right. So, within this pandemic, creatives got to create, man.
Always.
And so, I started a candy walnut business.
Okay.
And it's called Divine Treats. And if y'all want to follow me on Instagram, it's _Divine Treats 2020. And so, I got candy walnuts, and I have 4 flavors: strawberry, blueberry, chocolate infused with sea moss, and then the maple flavor, which is crumble maple, which is maple syrup, coconut sugar. Yep. So
what's your favorite one? What's your favorite flavor?
I would say the maple.
Okay.
That's a top seller too.
Okay.
I like it because I eat chocolate, but not like that. So I prefer maple. And then most people that buy, they buy maple. The chocolate is kind of messy, kind of sticky. Yeah. So, but the chocolate is good too. It tastes like regular chocolate, and the ingredients is date nectar, cacao powder, and sea moss.
Okay. How long does it take you to make?
Probably like 20 minutes. I can make about 2 pounds.
Oh, yeah. Rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. So I started real small. I was working at Naturally Herbs right here on McDonald.
Shout out to them.
And the son showed me how to make it. And he's like, I'll show you how to make it if you want to, start making them. Because that brother have a lot of ideas. And he's like, bro, I can't do everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He do a lot. And so he showed me one time. And when he showed me, he didn't show me no recipe or nothing. Yeah. He just showed me how to do it. I created my own recipe from what he showed me. And then I branched off and created a whole start going into different flavors. Yeah. Like, all right, well, we need a new flavor because everybody don't want chocolate. I experimented with Brazil nuts for a second, but then I didn't go full throttle into like making everything Brazil nuts. So I just been messing with walnuts. The reason why I had even ventured off to Brazil nuts was somebody had came and said that they was allergic to walnuts, and he was like, I mess with Brazil nuts though, and so I had made some for the brother.
Why walnuts?
Really because that's what it was. That's what I seen. That's what I was eating. Walnuts are alkaline. Walnuts, Brazil nuts are alkaline, and so and almonds. And so I don't want to sell people stuff that I don't eat.
Yeah. Said I'm making this for me anyway. Yeah. You might as well grab some up.
And I know, it's people like, oh, well, I want to. It's cool, but this is my product, and this how I want to brand it, and this the way I want to move with it. I know it's a lot of people out there that have nut allergies. There's a lot of people who don't.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
If you have a nut allergy, then
right.
Your business. I can't have your business then. Buy it for somebody else.
Nah, but when I drop my website, it's gonna be Divine Treats and more, and so I don't limit myself to walnuts.
Yeah.
So I can start making other things, and I am venturing towards that. But I gotta get in that lab and make sure that the ingredients is right, and I give people enough for their money.
Yeah, definitely.
Bang for their buck.
Definitely.
Because I started off with the jars and it wasn't doing it. People was like, I need more for my money. And it was understandable because it wasn't a lot in a jar. And so I had to upgrade to these bags I got. Now I got the bags. Yeah.
Okay. We haven't seen each other for a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute, bro.
Right? So we haven't seen each other for a hot one, bro. We probably haven't seen each other all year.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think last time I seen you probably was at Leeds.
Yep.
Probably 2019. Yep.
Like probably this time last year.
Yeah. This shit crazy, bro. And it's finna be 2021, bro.
Come on, bro. This whole
like,
year,
it's crazy, bro. It went by, bro.
Yeah. But you got a little different. You're looking a little different these days, brother.
Yeah.
Right now, at what point did you start your lock journey?
Okay. So I recently started it on my baby brother birthday, actually on October 30th. Got my hair twisted up, so I'm in a phase of growing my locks out. Yeah, I ain't even locked up yet. I'm twisted.
Yeah, you got the twisties.
And I was really thinking about, like, I did the waves.
Mm-hmm.
I did the locks before, but I was in a different mindset too. And so the way I move in the world
was the hyphy dreads.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's the energy that you bring with them. Mm-hmm. So I'm on a whole nother playing field now. Mm-hmm. And I got a different type of energy. Yeah. And I actually got a confirmation from the elders. And when I talk to certain elders, I take their words and I really honor them. And I had run into 2 elder Black women, and they was like, "Stop cutting your hair. That's your crown." Mm-hmm. And that really resonated with me. And I was kind of already tired of getting my hair cut too, though. So that was 2 things that kind of like, all right, it's go time. Mm-hmm. And I really like the energy that I've been having since I even got my hair twisted, bro.
Right.
Like, it's a whole new energy. So I'm walking into this, walking into the kingdom, man. Walking into my wholeness. Walking into my greatness. Yeah, with my head high and my chest out. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm about 4 years in.
Yeah.
I'm going on my 5th year.
Okay, for sure.
And I have never loved myself more. Like, I used to have a shortcut because I had to. I was forced to. You're not gonna have long hair. Ooh. So I always had a cut. When my hair started growing and I had the little shit locks,
yeah.
Super ugly phase. Super ugly phase, man.
Short phase.
Yeah. And this shows me how far I've come.
Yeah.
Because when I started, I was, like you said, I was in a different place mentally. But to come out of that place and be at a place where I feel strong, I feel powerful, and my hair represents that. Like I feel like Samson, like this is a part of my strength, because the energy inside of me and in my hair is of strength, is of bravery, of courage, and that's what I'm leading with. And it is a journey. It is a journey. It's days where I don't want to do it. It's days that I don't want to get it done. It's days that I want to get it done every single day.
Keep it tight.
Right. It's days that I hate them because I can't eat in public without it being in my mouth. And like it's a journey. I have a relationship with my hair. We have a relationship. And I have to keep falling in love with it every single day.
Choose.
That's the biggest thing about love is I'm choosing you every single day. Mm-hmm. Not because I have to, because I want to. Like that's the most important part of love.
For real.
I wanted to talk to you before we get out of here about the young men's group that you do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Tell me a little bit about that. I know a couple of them that prior that went to your group, and they said nothing but good things about it.
Oh yeah.
So just talk to the people about what it is and what you do.
Okay, for sure. So on Thursdays from 4 to 6 p.m., we do our young men's group virtually on Zoom for Rise Center. And what it is really creating a safe space where young people can come and have these different conversations on different topics such as violence in the community, feminism, toxic masculinity, and really introducing some of these concepts to young people. And some people already know them, come to and know some of the concepts, but other people are new to them, and really holding that space for whatever comes up for them, because it's not too often that young men specifically have spaces to be who they are.
Definitely.
And be able to learn new things. And I think that it's really hard for a person to learn something new if they're being judged for who they are before they're even able to like learn new things or new ways of being. And I think a lot of the times that's what it is. I know for me, my personal lived experience, I was judged a lot about a lot of stuff, even just like knowing how to have sex. I'm judged on that. Knowing certain words to use or all kind of stuff. And so it's really creating that space for them to be in there, to meet new people from different areas of where they stay, or Richmond, LA, and trying to build from there. So right now we're moving into this, it's a different type of group, and I only say that because now we have another young person that's co-facilitating with me. Beautiful. And so now we got a different perspective in terms of like creating the curriculum. We got like a younger eyes. We got younger eyes on what's going on. And what you think we should talk about this week? Or what you think about this song
you right now?
You know what I mean? Do you feel like this would be relevant to your group of friends? And so it's really, really dope working with that young brother by the name of Isaiah Thomas.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. I had a conversation with a friend, and we were talking about how we as men show up in our communities, and how a lot of the time we see, the women being the aunties, but we don't see the uncles.
Yeah.
And how we can, as the men, as the getting into becoming the elders of the communities, how can we be the uncles of the community? How can we show up for our youth? How can we show up for the people who need to look up to us and may not? What do you think? How do you think we can cultivate that type of culture?
Gotcha. I think one of the most important things about that is either somebody outside of us bringing it to our attention, or just, well, I think that's probably gonna be it, is really people from outside of who we are bringing that to our attention. Because for myself, I was in that position. Like you OG, bro, or like you somebody people look up to, and sometimes it still surprised me. Like, what, bro? Like, you a grown man saying like, you looking up to me, like, and so I guess it's recognizing our power, the power that we move in every day, and being able to cultivate that. And some of the ways that I've cultivated that is by hearing other people affirm me, and by talking to other elders that's even if it's somebody that is incarcerated. My connections, I got long reach. You feel me? I get to you.
Yeah.
Like, I done search for people that's in the pen. Like, well, what's the name down there? Like, talk to somebody else, and man, I need to talk to him about something, you know, and really seeking out that knowledge from our elders.
Yeah.
And if you feel like a person is not physically here, well, you gotta tap into the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta meditate. You gotta pray. You gotta ask for these elders to come to you in your dream.
Right.
You gotta pay attention because a lot of the answers come to us and we don't even see it, and it be coming in different forms.
Yep.
Come when you reading a book. Come when you watching a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
You think this is for entertainment, but nah, it's a message that spirit and the ancestors are trying to send to you through this television, through this Instagram that you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But we got to be aware.
Those are omens.
Yeah, we got to be aware of the questions that we asking in our heads,
Mm-hmm.
and then we watching something, or we having a conversation with somebody, or we overhearing something.
Mm-hmm.
We in a coffee shop and we overhear a person say,
Yeah.
"No, it was meant for you to hear that."
Yep. Yeah, we say anytime you go, yo, I was just thinking about this. That's the confirmation that you needed. That's what it's supposed to do. Yeah, you were just thinking about this, and that's why this is present now.
Now elaborate. Ask your question.
Yeah, exactly. Because now you have the floor.
Yeah. Especially like it's been a lot of conversation that it'll be a circle of people and I'll be standing on the outside of the circle.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the people that's on the inside of the circle ain't even listening.
Yep.
But I'm listening
Mm-hmm.
because I know that what you're saying is important to my surroundings right now. We might be in the hood and it's my folks and they in the streets and they don't want me to hear what they saying, but the shit that y'all talking about is important for me to know because I'm around this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. I need to know the same thing that y'all know.
No, for real. So I know to move accordingly so we don't have innocent bystanders.
Facts.
So I always been a listener, an observer. My community, I grew up in Kennedy Manor.
Mm-hmm.
They made me into a detective. I was a detective at a young age and didn't even know it.
Yeah.
And that made me who I am today, bro. Really sharp, real investigative. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Well, all right, let's get all the stories. I can't just hear your story.
Yeah.
And let's hear the whole around. Like, because it's your story, and then it's the truth.
Right. I need other perspectives.
Yeah.
I need what did you see? What did you see?
Yeah.
What did you see? Because I know what they're saying.
Yeah.
What did you see?
You're right.
What did it look like? What did you hear?
Yeah, because if you think about it, if we're in a car, if it's a driver, a passenger, and then it's people in the backseat, them 4 different perspectives.
Exactly.
Because I can't really see what the passenger's seeing because I'm driving. So yeah, man.
That's real. I think for us to show up in our neighborhoods and our communities, there has to be more unity with us, because the women will come together and get shit done, and I feel that we are segregated because the pride of kingdoms. We all want our piece of the pie. We all want to be the kingdom, the king of our realm. But there's never a time where we're doing it for the whole land. We could do it for our kingdoms, but we can't do it for the whole land.
Yeah.
And just working with men with ego like that, it takes away from what the community and what the land really needs. We have to do what's best for the land versus what's best for our individual kingdoms.
For sure. And kind of adding on to what you're saying is everybody have to know they place.
Yeah.
And what we doing, because right now it's like everybody want to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
But even if we think of it in a hood perspective, it's like everybody we gotta have like the robber gotta be the robber.
Yep.
Feel me?
I was just about to say,
the shooter gotta be the shooter.
Yeah.
The driver gotta be the driver.
Yep.
Motherfuckers trying to rob, shoot, and drive.
Yeah.
It's like, bruh,
Yeah.
how you rob, shoot, and drive? Like,
Yeah. You got too many tasks right now.
focus, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why everything is like a lot of motherfuckers going to jail, a lot of people telling.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like the recruitment process is trash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because look at the training.
Ain't no trading.
Yeah, you training. I'm teaching you how to be a getaway driver,
and
I'm a shooter.
Yeah,
your training is off
already. And so, one thing that I feel, another thing that we need in terms of like that piece of building is being able to I guess code switch, or really not code switch in terms of like change who we are or anything, but in terms of like being able to identify that what we are doing can be transferred to something that's legal. Like a lot of the stuff that folks is doing that's illegal can be a legal job, or it could be a legal business.
Yeah. Take that same ethic.
Yeah.
That same work ethic.
We need mouthpiece. We need a motherfucker with mouthpiece to get this grant, or get this deal on this house, or get this deal on this property. Like, you know what I mean? We need a motherfucker to come in the house and like, man, this motherfucker got cracks in it. Man, y'all need to knock 10,000 off. This motherfucker ain't got no installation. That's another 10,000 off this thing. Oh, the wood, the foundation cracky. Man, we got 50,000 for y'all. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's the same way a person will come in here and inspect your weed.
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't think you grew this in the house. This look like some outdoor. Like, they to the T.
Yeah.
You can do that same thing with a house or a car. When we go get these cars, like, you know, motherfuckers are spending top dollar for some stuff that is trash.
Yeah.
Like, you know, how long is the engine gonna run?
It look good though.
Yeah.
It look good. It look good on the outside. Whole engine toe
off. So yeah, it's really transferring these skills, transferable skills. Because one thing that I thought about is like everything that we do in the hood is grassroots fundraising. Everything from selling dope to robbing. We don't got it. We finna get it. That's the same mindset that grassroots fundraising have. Well, I'm finna ask everybody. Because everybody not gonna say no.
Right.
So I'm gonna ask everybody on the block.
Yep.
All right, well, let's go ask everybody on the block.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody gonna give it to me.
And they talk about that in that book called Think and Grow Rich. Yeah. They talk about that. I just finished reading that book. That book is a gem. A gem with many gems in it. Talk a lot about a lot of our ancestors that came from situations like us.
Right.
And created something that people needed and went door to door knocking until they got millions of dollars without the internet. Without Instagram.
Every single day. Yeah, I saw an article about that. It was a motivation. It was talking about motivation. And it said the people who didn't sell blamed outside forces for why they didn't sell anything. Oh, well, it was quiet in this neighborhood. No one answered the door. It was raining, so I couldn't get out there. But it's the people who it doesn't matter. Those are the people who sell everything, every last thing. You could be on the same block, ring the same doors. If you don't want to sell it, you're not going to sell it. If you want to get this off, you're going to get it off, no matter what. And that's that drive and dedication that we all need to continue this legacies that we're trying to create. So yeah, I appreciate that, because you're doing the work that a lot of us should be doing with the youth, making sure that they're okay, making sure that they're growing to become whole people. So I commend you for that.
I appreciate you, bro.
Before we get out of here, I always like to leave my listeners with something to think about until they hear my voice again. So this segment is called The Diagnosis. I haven't done that so long. My favorite part of the whole show. I haven't done it in so long, man. I haven't recorded in a long while, man. But my diagnosis for this week is create your whole self. Make sure that you are full and fulfilled in yourself. Fulfill yourself before trying to have someone else fulfill you. Don't stifle your imagination. Continue to grow. Continue to keep that child with you, because that's the most innocent part of you, and that's the part that really, really should shine. And my last one is who you were, who you are, and who you will be are all three different people. And honor and accept each one within yourself.
For sure. Send me that. Text me that.
For sure. For sure. Any last words before we get out of here?
Yeah, but I appreciate you for having me on this. And two books that I recommend that a lot of people should read. The Think and Grow Rich. I recommend folks should read that especially in terms of entrepreneurship, motivation, even just learning about different ancestors that came before us that was millionaires before this internet popped off. And and business wise. And then there's another one called The Spirit of Intimacy.
Okay.
Spirit of Intimacy is really deep, and it talks about intimacy in terms of platonic relationships, romantic relationships, family. It talks about a lot of different rituals that we already doing, but we're doing it unconsciously. So I think that moving forward, if we read that book and start to do those things intentionally, our relationships and foundations and our families and our villages will be a lot more stronger.
Fire. Definitely get those books and get Section 8. Where can we get Section 8?
It's on lulu.com at the moment. And then
Spell that?
lulu.com. And then I'll be dropping I'll be publishing my website soon for Divine Treats. It'll be on there for sale as well. So as soon as I drop that, I'll let you know what it's going to be on.
Where can they find you?
Find me in that Section 8, man. Nah, just playing. Find me on Instagram _TJ Sykes. Find me on Facebook, TJ Sykes, LinkedIn, TJ Sykes. Just even on social media, that's one thing that I seen my growth in as well. I used to put fake names. I used to be under Mike Larry, like from Bad Boys.
Yeah.
And I noticed that was part of my trying to figure out my identity and who I was. And once I figured out that I wasn't running from anyone and I didn't need to hide who I was, I started to make sure that my name was available for people who's looking for me to find me.
Yeah, definitely. Being who you are, fully and wholly.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother. Dap you up. Appreciate you, brother, coming through. Best Med Pod, it's your man Simba Roar back in this thing one more time, bruh. And we out. Peace.